Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the Deal Hound Club. This has been an interesting last couple of weeks. And so I'll explain everything to you guys, what's been going on, why I haven't been filming and recording, and explain what's going on here. So first of all, some of the deals that I've been finding, they've been going so flipping fast, like all these here. Boom, 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 boom. I saved all these like in one day, and like literally that same day before I could even record, they were all sold. And so that's when you know that the deals are good, right? Like, look at this, some of these, boom, 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 boom. These were all sold. These were from before. And then on top of that, my wife asked me to find a new vehicle for her. So then I was like, oh man. So instead of recording it, I was actually looking for a vehicle for her. So that took some time. She wanted a Lincoln Navigator or a Ford Expedition, and she preferred the long edition. So you'll see a bunch of those saved. You'll see a bunch of them sold because I was saving them and trying to figure out the market on them and seeing what they were going for. And I will show you what I actually bought. So that'll be cool. You'll be able to see exactly what I purchased. So let's just jump right on into it. So I think these were some of them that I was saving here. We'll start about right here because some of these were really good deals. These weren't. I was just trying to. She also thought about maybe getting a Cadillac Escalade, so I actually saved a couple of those just to see what the market was and kind of watch that. Probably one of the better deals. We'll just start with this Torino. This Torino was a really good deal, and it was this was a GT, had 351 Cleveland C6, and was listed for $8,000, and it literally sold within like a day of him listing it. There was some damage, paint damage on the hood and burnt paint and stuff like that. And I wasn't, in the interior and all that stuff was needing work. So I mean, I wasn't in love with the deal, but it was still a pretty good deal at $8,000, I thought. And it sold within a couple of days. Like, oh shoot, okay, I guess it was a better deal than I thought. And this was another one that was a really good deal. I actually sent this to my son because my son's been looking for one of these. This was 11.2. You'll see that here. So it was 11.2, and this is a one owner. He bought this thing brand new in 2012. So it was a one owner. It's right up the road from me in Carbondale. And he only had it one picture listed, but he literally sold it within, I think, 24 hours. It sold. And so I'm pretty sure it was a really clean one. Okay, so let's jump into the one I bought. So here's the one I bought. And so this was golly. Oh man, this was a long trip. So I went out to Utah to pick this up. So this is really interesting. If you ever want to read an interesting ad, this was a funny ad. You should totally look this ad up. This was funny. It still looks like it may be posted, but it's marked sold, but this still may be on there. Anyway, this is a funny ad. The guy said the motor was shot and needed a full rebuild. It had some damage here from when he hit a deer. I have since fixed this damage here. Interior and the rest of this rig was super clean. I got this for $4,500 was the final price on it, which I thought was fair because it had brand new KO3s on it with less than 10,000 miles on the KO3s, and a Bilstein shocks on it all the way around, and a lift. Leather interior, fully loaded, needed nothing other than a motor. He said it needs a motor. Now, these 5.4s are very interesting little motors. Let me give you some background on these. These 3 valves, cam phasers, sometimes they start making noises. There's a lot of misunderstanding on these. And some people say these are like the worst engines ever built. I've had a ton of these 5.4s. They're a tough motor. Matter of fact, my truck personally has 300,000 miles on the original 5.4 right now. Anyway, I like these trucks. I think they do great. Bottom line is, I don't know where he got, right here. He says, you need a full engine rebuild. I happen to have a brand new 5.4 sitting in a crate. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just grab this one and throw a new motor in it. So I drove out there, picked it up on a trailer, loaded it on a trailer, brought it home, and I have since put about 2,000 miles on it. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't know what he's talking about. There's nothing wrong with it. It is the smoothest running 5.4 I've had. It doesn't die. I don't know what I don't know what the Ford dealership was telling him, but the Ford dealership was telling him it needed a full rebuild. So for $4,500, all I've done is fix this. I bought a new valance right here, and fixed that, and I think I put a newer stereo in it. Is all I've done. Yeah, because the LED lights on the stereo didn't work. Other than that, air conditioner works, heater works. I completely detailed it out. It looks like a brand new truck. Yeah, I lucked out on this one, guys. I lucked out. This happens sometimes. But if I'd have known all this, I would not have towed it back. It was such a pain in the butt to tow it back with my half-ton F-150. It wasn't a pain in the butt, but it was just, I was definitely working my truck. And I would have just drove out there and drove it home. But anyway, that's where we sit with that one. And, okay, so I will jump into a couple of these. This was a good deal. Dang it, man, this one sold. So this one was not sold, I think, as of this morning. This one was not sold. So the 2,500. See, he had it incorrectly listed as an E250. It's an actual F250. So yeah, you're sitting here looking at a highboy. And it's got the custom paint on it. So this one was a what do you call them? There's a word for this. Anyway, I just went blank on the name. Sorry, guys. But anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're into these. But yeah, so this was a good deal, really good deal at $2,500. And so yeah. Anyway, that one sold. Darn it. All right, here's a good deal. This one's got 203,000 miles on it. 10.5. I think this is a pretty good deal if you're just looking for just to get yourself into a Raptor. I like Raptors, but I just, for the wheeling that I do, I don't necessarily want a Raptor. I do a lot of rock crawling, a lot of that type of stuff, so I don't want those big wide fenders that are fiberglass. Anyway, but I was interested because this was a 2010, so it has the 5.4 in it, and again, I had that crate motor sitting here as an extra one, so I thought about maybe jumping on this one and grabbing this. Anyway, that's a good deal right there if you're interested in a Ford Raptor. This one I saved just to verify. So I've actually bought two vehicles. I forgot about that. So I bought it's not on here anymore, I don't think. I think it's been taken down, yeah. So I bought a 2000 Mazda B4000 5-speed, and it was a Tommy Lee design edition, and it only had 150,000 miles on it, and it was in really good shape, and the guy wanted $2,500 for it, so I ran and got that one. So I picked that one up. I've got it at my buddy's shop right now. We're just doing a little bit of tune-up work on it and changing all the fluids, those types of things. This is me just saving some stuff for my truck. Here's another good deal. If you guys are interested, this one is this is the old fridge. So they call them refrigerator trucks, but I'm a little taken back on this rust. I've never seen rust this high on these. I'm not sure what the history on this thing was. He says it has rust, but runs and dries. I'm just, like I said, it's on both sides. Got rust all the way up to here. That's pretty high on them, but it is a 4-wheel drive. Very hard to find. Yeah, very hard to find. I'd be interested to see what the bed looks like on the inside. And I'm sure this is a 292 probably. I don't think he shows a picture. No. So it could be an inline six, but I bet usually the four-wheel drives they want the V8, so it's probably a 292. And was this a 4-speed on the floor? Yeah, 4-speed on the floor. So yeah, this one will be. It's definitely worth 2,500. Doesn't look like there's any major rust here, which is usually where they rust out. There might be some over here, but yeah, that's a good deal. Oh, shoot, unfortunately that one sold. That was a good deal. Golly, man. This was a V8 automatic factory AC, power steering, pony interior, fully loaded. Well, not fully loaded, but highly optioned Mustang coupe, 66. Running and driving for 11.5. So I'm not sure what it sold for finally, but it did sell. But that one was good and clean. That was a good driver. You can see, look at the bottom. You can see that there was no rust on this one. Very clean. Just a good survivor. It looks like just a nice clean survivor. Yeah. Did this guy? I think he upgraded the brakes. Was it? I can't remember here. Spinner hub. What else runs and drives? Likely turns. See the pictures. Mostly a survivor car. It needs work, but is a solid car. Okay, he didn't mention anything about the brakes, but I could have swore it looked like it had disc brakes. Anyway, yeah, pony interior, V8 automatic with air conditioning and power steering. Yeah, you can get that's about as good a deal as you're going to get on a run and driving one. I don't know how this happened, but when I was looking for those Cadillac Escalades, these H2 Hummers kept popping up. These are good deals, guys. These are usually 10,000 or more for a good one, a good clean one with leather, and well, I think they all had leather. But anyway, this one's pretty decent. I put maybe a leather seat kit on it. Yeah. No, this is a good one. Anyway, for $7,500, that was a pretty fair deal. It's still available. That one is. Here's another one for $95,000. Like I said, normally they're going for about 10 grand. So, but this one does have a recent transmission rebuild. I bet you could probably snack that one up. I bet you can get it for $85,000. Yeah, oh, that's what it was. This one, somebody did some weird freaking stereo. Look at the massive stereo crap on here. So I don't know if it was worth messing with. You guys that are into stereos and all that crap, maybe you're interested in that. But yeah, that kind of turned me off. But anyway, $192,000. Yeah. So yeah, usually. Like I said, usually about 200,000 miles, they're going for about 10 grand. So anytime you can get under both of those, you're going to do okay. 95 is not enough room, in my opinion. I'd want to get it for 8,500, and then hope I could get 11 for it. But anyway, so that's that one, and then this one is the last deal of the day for today. I'm sorry, guys. These things are just going so quick that I cannot keep up with it. But yeah, it's Raptor Central today, man. I'm telling you what. This one has got check engine lights because he's got no cats on it. Has some small cosmetic issues. What they are, I don't know, because obviously he didn't post them. He's got one picture is all he's posted. But it is a Raptor, and he's only wanting $12,500 for it. So that's a, these things are getting down. I think about 10 grand is going to be about their bottom, and then they're going to start going up. If they're not going to go up, I think they're honestly going to start going back up here pretty quick. And the reason why is the 6.2. It's a solid drivetrain. If you're not into turbos and replacing a bunch of crap on a power boost or whatever they call those 3.5 EcoBoosts. That's what it is. The EcoBoost. If you're not into EcoBoosts but you want a solid V8 truck from Ford, this is really about as good as it gets. So a lot of people like the new Coyotes. The 6.2 is a solid performer, and when you're getting these around 10 grand, these will go 400,000 miles if you do oil changes, constant maintenance on them. They'll go 400,000 miles, no problem. I've had several. I've had fleets of 5.4s, and I've had 6.2s, and I've had 4.6s. I got 4.6s that were in my fleet with over 660,000 miles on the original motor and transmission. So do not be afraid of these trucks, guys. As long as you keep up with the maintenance on them. But that is all I can find today. So let me. So here's a couple of things I wanted to do. Actually, there's some older ones that I have saved that doesn't look like they've sold yet. That might be a good deal for somebody. This one I saved just because I was kind of curious because it's in Jackson, Wyoming. So I was just kind of curious how long this one would last, because it's kind of a ragged out. I wouldn't say ragged out, but it's got 300,000 miles on it. So I was kind of curious if somebody in Jackson, Wyoming would want something that has that many miles on it, or if they're looking for something newer. But for $4,000, guys, that's a pretty fair deal for a crew cab Tundra, first gen Tundra. Camper shell doesn't go with it, he says. But if you can convince them to throw in the topper, that might be worth it. But for $4,000, that's about as good a deal as I've seen on a non-wrecked crew cab first gen Tundra. But it does have 300,000 miles on it. But it does look pretty well taken care of. So that one, this was a good deal. That one sold already. But yeah, this was a red and white T-Bird convertible for under 20 in really good shape. Yeah. Man, yeah, that was a good deal. I was trying to get it on here, guys, for you. Sorry. Let's see, is there any others? Yeah, this was a steal of a deal, but that one's gone. I don't know. There's no reason to keep talking about stuff like that. Let's see. Dang it, man. Yeah, every time I save them and I try to get enough of them, it just, they get sold pretty quick. So let me show you what we have a few. I got 2, 3. Well, I'll do another episode. I'm going to do another episode. I'm going to show you how I find my deals and what I'm looking for when I'm looking for deals, and the key phrases to look for and things to stay away from, those types of things. Let's see here. This one might be a good. I was looking for a little car for my daughter. Let's see, Toyota Camry, nice car, good on gas, fresh oil changes. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna make any money on it, but it was a fair deal. It was fairly clean. It had some stains on the seats, though. I don't know, but it was a V6. That's why I saved it. Okay, it wasn't the 4-banger. Most of these around $2,000 are like the 4-bangers. This one had the V6 in it, which is a really good motor. That sucker will run and run and run. It's one of their better motors in these Toyotas, but it does have 227,000 miles. It's getting pretty old, and I don't know. It's kind of I want something a little bit newer for her. So anyway, I skipped down it. So this one was pending. This one was another one that had a blown motor. So this is the one I was actually going to buy. I was seriously considering buying this one that needed a motor, but it had. What was wrong with this? There was something. Yeah, the interior wasn't as nice. It wasn't as clean as the other one. You can see the stains here on the seats and stains on the back. And so this one was just a little bit rougher shape. One. And then 2 was my truck is literally the same color. My wife's like, are we going to be matching? My truck is the same color as the dark on the top and the gold on the bottom. So I was like, So I kind of hesitated on it. and then it went pending like a couple days later. I don't know if it's sold yet, but he dropped it to $3,000. I was going to make an offer of 2,500, and then it fell off. But then at the same time, that's when I found this one, and I thought this one was in much nicer shape. So I'm really happy with that purchase. That one will be that'll last her for a very, very long time. It's so quiet. It's so nice. No rattles going down the dirt roads. It's nice and tight. I'm really happy. Really impressed with that purchase. Yeah, I think I've showed you all these. I'm kind of surprised this one's still available. Let's see. This one might be a good deal. I can't remember what the deal is on this. Okay. Yeah, this is the Cummins 5-speed. And I was actually thinking about buying a 5-speed Cummins. And so I was kind of looking at this one. It does have the sport bumper on the front. Yeah, the color coordinated bumper. So I don't know. I was interested in this one, but there's a couple things, you could tell it was owned by a kid. So I don't know. I just kind of I hesitate. But at 12.5 with 126, that's what caught my eye. There it is right there. 126,000 miles, guys. That's super, super low. And if it's verified by Carfax. Okay, so on these with 125,000 miles, you can push the upper 20s on, not upper 20s, I'm sorry, upper teens, up close to 20 on these and get it. And so what I would do on this, okay, so if you want to buy this, one, I would try to talk them down to like 11. And then two, me personally, I would just go back to the stock wheels and tires, sell those things off, drop this thing back down to factory, and make this as factory looking as possible. Like I said, unfortunately, this kid's messed with it and has taken it out of that. But the thing you have going for you, see this crappy radio here? Get rid of this, put the factory radio back in it. Like I said, the thing you have going for you on this is get rid of this, is the 125,000 miles. Find a new steering wheel on eBay that isn't like this. Put that new steering wheel in it, and you could easily ask 20 to 21.5, and maybe get an offer of 18 for it. And so you can definitely make a good $6-7 grand on this truck with a couple of mods. Fix this here. That's not hard to fix. You can do this a little patchwork right here. You can just do a little bit of patchwork and paint it black, and it'll fit right. And then I would get rid of the T-handle Hurst crap. I'd put the factory knob back on it. Yeah. That was the other thing. It's leather interior. So this is a good find actually, guys. I'm glad I found this right at the end. I forgot about this one. So this is a really good find. You can easily make your money back on this. I would sell the lift kit off of the dang thing, and find somebody that wants a lift and tires and trade them out and put it back to stock, and it'll bring you way more money stock. Trust me. Get rid of these all these kids do this crap to these things, and people just do not like that. It does not help at all. So there's nothing you can do about all the stuff that he's done to the motor. I mean, there's stuff you could do, but I don't think I would mess with that. I think you're fine with the motor mods. It's all this kid-looking crap, with the stupid aftermarket taillights and all that stuff. Get rid of all that, and then get it back to factory. Put new headlights. Order some new headlights on Amazon so that they're not all grayed out. And man, I think you can get close to 20 with this thing. So there you go. There's your bias for the week, or for the last couple of weeks. Sorry, it's been Christmas and I've been out of town. I've been doing all kinds of stuff, so I've been a little bit busy. So I apologize about that. But in all fairness, hopefully that makes up for it. That's a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 flip right there for somebody that wants it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Take care.